Okay, welcome back to Michael's Backyard Marina. As you can see, we're at the sink today. I've been soaking a carburetor all day. I took it apart before I went to work this morning, and I put it in my carb cleaner. Just using this Napa carburetor cleaner with a dipping basket. I think it's supposed to be biodegradable material. Once the water hits it, it'll kind of turn white and we'll rinse off. I'm hoping this thing come out nice and clean. Looks like it might have done the trick. Now I've got a pre-rinse sink here. My wife's gonna kill me. Hope this isn't too loud, because it's gonna smell up my basement. So I got this. It really blasts. It really put some water pressure to some things and really clean this bad boy up. I'm using really hot water. Whew. Too hot for me. Temper it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm blasting water through that little, that's where one of the screw jets are. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. Water blasting out that hole right there. Blasting out that hole. That means I got some good flow there. I'll follow that up with some air pressure. Let me get all that carburetor cleaner cleaned off of there. Look at the butterflies are nice and bright. This carburetor wasn't crazy disgusting, but it also wasn't performing. I could tell because it actually ran better when I was shooting carb cleaner down in there. It was getting more fuel, so I'm thinking it was starving pretty good. So, get the other part. This is called a Rodchester 2-jet. And it's original to the motor, Rodchester carburetor. And I was able to actually this morning go to my local Napa store, took them the numbers because I had the tag for it, and we looked it up. It took us about 20 minutes, but they found one. Now I'm in Kelowna, Iowa. I'm a little ways from Des Moines, Iowa, about 160 miles or so. And lo and behold, they had one at their Des Moines store. They ship every night, so tomorrow morning I'm going to have a carb kit here, and I'll be putting this thing back together, and I'll be showing you folks how it goes back together. I could show you how it comes apart, but all you got to do is look at what the opposite of what I'm doing, putting it back together, and you can figure out the rest. One thing I did notice, and I'll show you in the video out there, this is the accelerator pump hole. And this is what, when you give it the gas, it puts an extra squirt of gas in there to give it an extra juice, so when you're accelerating it has a lower power. And this one had absolutely no squirt going on, it was dead. When I finally pulled that out this morning, that plunger rubber seal that's on there was hard as a rock. It had formed to the cylinder, and it was so moving so freely that it wasn't doing anything it needed to be doing. So that looks pretty clean there. It's not too bad. We'll blow air through all these orifices. There's a couple of jets that go down in here. I took those out. I'll blow air through those pretty thoroughly to make sure those are cleaned out. But I cleaned up pretty nice. I'm not unhappy with that. That will work. A little bit of soot left there, but not going to hurt anything for me right now. Okay. Now I got some small basket pieces here. Here's the piece that was kind of the rough looking one. You can see there's like a little barnacle looking thing on there. Look at that. It comes right off now. Perfect. Yeah. It discolored it. But it's still there. It's good shape. I'll make sure the holes blow clear. We'll have to get the rest of this gasket material off of there when I get ready to put it back together. It looks like it's coming off pretty good. Minimal scraping to make that go away. Hey, look at there. Put water down there and it's coming out of all the holes. Put water down this one. It's coming out of all the holes except the bottom. It's not coming out of that one, or this one over here, or this one here. And that was the, let's see here. Yeah, that was the cylinder. When I squirt carburetor or fluid down that barrel, it ran better. So that tells you what this thing was trying to do with an idle. It wasn't sucking near enough air and gas mixture. So I'm pretty hopeful this thing's going to be Just wonderful, because yeah, it looks like this thing here has the ability to suck. When the air is passing through here, it creates a Venturi effect, pulls on that little tube right there and pulls gas up through there. Pretty cool. Alright, see, I got some small parts here left in the basket. So, here's the two air, guessing those are air mixture adjustments that are at the base of the carburetor. That's typically where you see them on small engines and whatnot. So, one thing I did do is I checked the number of turns before I pulled those out. They're about 1.5 to 1 3/4 turned. You turn them in from bottomed out. So at least that way I know I got a good starting point when I put this back together, because the last time it was running, that's where it was left, and it's been sitting for 4 years, so you can hopefully assume nobody really did a lot of messing around with it and screwed things up. If they did, typically what I've found on a lot of engines is the 1.5 turns from bottomed out seem to be a good starting point. It'll run and fire, and it'll run and fire and get you going, and you can do some minor adjustments after that. Nice, good. So there, I rinsed off the parts. The part you haven't seen so far is the top plate. I didn't want to soak that one. It didn't really need soaking. It has the choke, the heat sensitive spring for the choke in it and such. We'll go over that when we go out to the shop. And you have to excuse my shop. I've got 3 motors, half tore apart out there, spread all over my boat, all over the benches, and I'm having to work in a very small space on the corner of a bench in order to make this happen. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, welcome back. Michael's Backyard Marina. Oh, got my air hose. Gonna have to kind of ignore this mess here. That's part of the old Evinrude parts. I'm gonna show you a couple of pieces on here that I just washed all this. Now I'm gonna take and blow it out. You can see right here is where the needle jets went for the base. I'll make sure good puff of air is coming past those. Same way past that one. I like using a rubber tip nozzle because you can get in there and seal things off and really make sure things are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You can see that's already starting to have a film of rust in there around that from cleaning the carb, because this base, believe it or not, is cast iron. Sorry about that, the air compressor kicked on. I'm going to try something here. This little thing I showed you had some plugged up holes. What I got here is a little piece of welding wire. It's 35 thousandths diameter. I got it out of my wire welder. Let's see if I can poke that through. And that looks like I poked through pretty good. And clean out those, a few of those Venturis and make sure they're open now. I can see through them, get some air through them. I think I'm going to go over here and take my wire wheel. You can see what that thing looks like right now. It's kind of corroded looking. I'm going to go over to the wire wheel real quick. And I got a real soft wire wheel. You gotta be real gentle with it. You don't want this wire wheel to snag it out of your hand. It could ruin your day. Look at that bad boy now. Woo! All shiny now. I'll have to take and clean all this gasket off of here. I'll grab my handy gasket scraper. Right now, this is just the blade off my gasket scraper. Make it a little easier to handle. But what I'm going to have to do is be careful and take this thing and see if I can get the rest of that gasket off of there. Help if I turn things the right way. But yeah, that's going to be a little stubborn, it looks like, but patience and carefulness wins the day on this stuff. So, because once you put a big old scar on it, so I'm going to have to sit there and scrape all that off, get all that cleaned. Same way in here, this is where that sits. This sets down right inside that right there. Has a gasket in between it. So this is the one where I was seeing plenty of stuff dribbling out through here, and I was seeing nothing coming through here. And the accelerator pump, I'm guessing, squirts somewhere up through here. I'll have to watch that and see what that does. So I'll finish blowing this stuff out here. Turn my air pressure might kick on again, but there again, I'm just putting the air down all the orifices, making sure she blows through. I have no idea where that's supposed to come out. That's where your accelerator pump. I was going to show you that. This thing here is so... There's the float. I haven't taken any of that off. It's dry and clean. That thing is hard as a rock. I think it would actually, yeah, it almost breaks before it bends. So the new carb kit will come with one of these. That fits down in this hole here. When that's not out to the sides where it can make some compression, make some pressure, it doesn't pump anything. And you don't have your acceleration that you want. So I'll blow some more stuff through the main jet holes here. Coming out good there. Coming out there. Now I'm just after getting all the water out of it. Whoa, I'll lose that. It's an important piece. Might not think so, but that's got the carburetor number. You can do a lot of research on that number there to get everything you need for your carburetor. And I'm not worried about the paint being off this thing. It's not a show boat. It's going to be a fishing boat. It just needs to function. I'm more about functionality than I am pretty. And as time goes on, you guys will probably recognize that I do service and maintenance, and the rest of it I just not really too worried about the pretty. It's functionality for me all day long. Alright, I blew that out. This here, I will finish taking this off. This is just it's missing a screw here. I got to take these 3 screws off. That takes that cover off. But as you, like I said, this was pretty clean. Wasn't too worried about it. Gas was flowing through here pretty good. I can blow air through there and lift that needle seat. It'll come with a new needle. The carb kit should. I have no idea what that does, but it seems to be moving pretty freely. So yeah, I'll pull this pin. I can do that right now even. Pull that pin out of there. Don't lose your stuff. Lift you see the little needle hanging on there on the float? You see that very good? Just gonna gently lay that right there. Then this seat here you could take off, but doggone, that's pretty clean in there. I don't need to worry about that. But here's my gasket. Looks like that's gonna lift off without too much trouble. So we can get that there. There, look at that. There's virtually no gasket scraping got to happen there. I might take my little die grinder. I got some little tiny wire wheels. I might take here and just kind of run around that just to shine that up a little bit, but I'll be able to match that up with the carb kit that I'm getting. I think it comes with a couple different gaskets. Looks to me like I'm going to have to take and rotate this around. Oops, get this out of the way here. Take that screw loose there. This little shaft will slide out. That comes off. I think this doesn't come off of there. It's designed to stay on there permanently. So the new one will come with a new arm, and I'll put that right back in. I like to leave things together till I have the next piece in my hands, because my memory's not that great. Oh, see what just happened there? I don't know which way that went. But what I do know is I took pictures. I took a lot of pictures of the carburetor before I took it apart, so I'll be able to put that bad boy right back where it belongs. I'm not too worried about that. So I can't stress that enough for people that are just getting into messing with this stuff, is to take pictures. Take lots of pictures. Most everybody today has a phone, it has a nice camera, and you can take some pretty detailed pictures, because you don't understand how nice that is when you can go back and go, hey, where'd that wire go? How did this go? And you can go pull up your picture and go, oh, there it is. You got a photograph of it. You can download it on your computer, print it off, whatever you want to do. So, all right, folks, that's it for now. I'll do a little more gasket scraping here. Won't bore you with that. Underneath this bolt right here is a fuel filter. It's just a screen filter. I'll take that back out, make sure it is clean, and put it back together. There'll be a new gasket that goes in here that'll come with the carb kit. So everything's sealed up. You don't want any gas leaks on your boat, because when you got that cover over it and you run the vent fan, you want to make sure that when you hit this ignition, that you don't blow that cover up over your head. I think that kind of ruined your fishing trip. All right, this here now you shake it, no sound. That means she's in good shape. The nice thing, this boat's been pretty well taken care of. There's a little stain right there, but it was winterized properly. This thing is, I think they ran the carburetor dry every year. Just looking at how much debris is not in this carburetor would let me know that they ran it dry and didn't leave gas setting in it. That's the worst thing you can do in a carburetor, is leave gas setting in it. When you winterize them, what I'll be doing from now on, because I'll run the boats year over year going forward, is I'll be putting stable in the gas tank, doing all the proper winterizing. I'll have more videos, because fall's coming up. It's beginning of almost mid-September, September 8th or 9th right now. I have to look at the calendar. But yeah, there's a winterizing. It's got to happen. I live in Iowa, so there's going to be, it definitely freezes here in the winter. And around here, freezing things can break things, especially when there's water left inside. So I got to get these motors running so I can winterize them properly, and then I feel safe parking them out in the shed for the winter, and we'll bust them out next spring and see if we can pop some fish. All right, tomorrow morning, going to Napa. I'll be getting the carburetor kit, and we'll put that carburetor together. One we just went over here. We'll actually put it back on the boat. I'll go over some of that while I'm putting it back together, because there again, I'm learning as I go on a lot of this stuff. We'll put that back together. We'll put the spark plug wires on. We'll torque down the spark plugs, and we'll put a momentary, I got a temporary gas tank I'm gonna run a line to, and cross my fingers, this thing will idle and do what I need to do so I can hook it back up to the throttle, because right now this doesn't have an independent throttle. Like a lot of your Mercruiser or Mercury outboards and stuff, you have an independent lever so you can actually throttle it up when you start it with the electric choke and stuff. And this one here does not. This one here is just supposed to start and run. And then when you engage it into gear and give it the gas, then she's throttle ahead then, or in reverse with more throttle. So yeah, this thing needs to start up and idle every time. That's just the way it has to operate. So I got to get it to that point. Right now, I had to unhook it from the throttle cable. I had to work the throttle manually, have it about half open to try to start it. And I'd get it started and running, and it would die, and I'd get it started, and I could get it running, and like I said, it'd run up about $2 grand, and I could get it finally settled down to about 1,000 RPM, and everything was just not functioning like it needs to, but I will get there. I'm confident that from what I'm seeing here, and the compression that I did a compression test on it, that all looks great. I have no doubt that this thing will purr like a kitten. And then it'll only get better when I put the electronic ignition on it. I'm excited to put that on there. I watched some videos of people that have it on there. The boat just seems so smooth. The motor seems so smooth. All through the RPM range, it's got power. The new stuff is sometimes better. I'm an old school guy, but I like the new technology. So stay tuned, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll put this carburetor together. Thank you.